It's no secret that Ferrari have been less than impressive this season. There has been loads of speculation as to the cause. But Schumacher, no, not that one, his little brother, believes he knows the real reason behind the team's demise, and it is not good for Leclerc or Sainz. Stay with us as we explore the possible causes of Ferrari's poor results and analyse Ralf Schumacher's bombshell interview. Don't go anywhere. The 2023 Formula 1 season has witnessed Ferrari encountering a sluggish beginning, and that's putting it nicely. Despite an off-season marked by significant changes aimed at revitalising Ferrari's success, the initial months of the season have raised concerns regarding the team's trajectory. A 2022 season filled with high expectations, but ultimately disappointing results. The renowned racing team made the decision to replace Matteo Binotto as team principal. Taking his place is Vasseur, who was previously associated with Alfa Romeo. Under Binotto's leadership, Ferrari managed to develop a remarkably fast car that could rival Red Bull in terms of pure speed during the initial stages of the previous season. However, a combination of reliability issues and strategic mistakes resulted in Charles Leclerc losing ground to Max Verstappen. The expectation was that Vasseur would introduce the necessary level of discipline to enable Ferrari to mount a consistent championship bid. Over the winter, Vasseur made it clear that ending the team's 15-year drought in the Drivers' Championship was his primary objective. However, so far, Ferrari seems no closer to achieving their desired glory. The question is, what's the problem? Ferrari faced a significant challenge with reliability during the 2022 season. Both drivers experienced race retirements on 2 occasions, each in the first half of the season. Consequently, the team made the decision to reduce the engine performance in the second half of the campaign, resulting in decreased competitiveness. Apart from the direct impact of these retirements on points lost, there were further repercussions in the form of grid penalties. These penalties were incurred due to exceeding the permitted number of engine components allowed for the season, further hindering Ferrari's performance. Ensuring the reliability of their 2023 car was the foremost priority for Ferrari during the winter break. They expressed confidence in their success as the new season approached. However, this confidence was shattered when Charles Leclerc retired from the first race in Bahrain due to an issue with his control electronics unit, which had already been replaced before the race. Leclerc's retirement had additional consequences, since he already utilised the 2 control electronics units allowed for the entire season. As a result, he received a 10-place grid penalty in Saudi Arabia. The team's concerns about reliability were further confirmed by the fact that both Leclerc and Sainz were equipped with completely new power units for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Following the race, Vasseur expressed that Ferrari had made progress, as both Leclerc and Sainz completed the race without encountering engine problems. However, Vasseur acknowledged that the issue experienced in Bahrain was unforeseen, since it was the first time they encountered a control unit failure. To address any potential concerns, Ferrari opted to change the engine for the subsequent race to ensure a fresh start. Given the current circumstances, we're not convinced that Ferrari has completely resolved their reliability issues, but that's not the problem. Despite Ferrari's struggles with reliability in 2022, their car demonstrated impressive speed when the engine was performing optimally. However, in the current season, there's little to no evidence suggesting that the SF23 is as competitive. In Bahrain, before his retirement, Leclerc was initially in contention for a podium finish, but he was unable to match the pace of the Red Bulls ahead of him. Similarly, Sainz was overtaken by Fernando Alonso of Aston Martin, who ultimately secured the final podium position. Following the season opener in Bahrain, there were numerous excuses put forth by both Ferrari themselves and observers. Some suggested that the Bahrain circuit was not suited to their car, and predicted a stronger performance from Ferrari in the upcoming race in Saudi Arabia. Vasseur asserted that Ferrari had made errors in their setup during the Bahrain race, expressing confidence that rectifying it would yield substantial performance improvements in Jeddah. One anticipated benefit was reduced tyre degradation. However, the outcome in Saudi Arabia 2 weeks later was almost disastrous for Ferrari. Both Mercedes cars and Fernando Alonso finished ahead of the Ferrari duo, with Alonso once again securing 3rd place behind the Red Bulls. One theory proposed was that Ferrari might have been running their engines below maximum capacity, following the concerns from the opening race. However, the team asserted that this was not the case. Ferrari's struggles in Jeddah were particularly evident when using the hard tyre compound. Carlos Sainz suggested that their primary challenge lies in the difficulty of following other cars closely. Sainz stated that Ferrari is currently not at the desired level in terms of race pace, tyre degradation, balance, and dealing with the effects of turbulent air when following other cars. So, in anything, basically. But it's always easy to blame the car, isn't it? Sainz isn't going to own up to any of his poorer driving decisions. Sacking Binotto always had the potential to be problematic, given the Italian's popularity within a team he's been with since 1995. But here's where the sound of a bomb whizzing can be heard. Ralf Schumacher has praised Fred Vasseur for the changes he's implemented since taking over. Schumacher expressed a positive impression of Ferrari's developments under Vasseur's leadership, noting that significant progress has been made. Sainz has expressed strong criticism regarding the car's inability to match their competitors during races, and he believes that the setup is excessively rigid and lacks consistency. Reflecting on their performance in the Miami GP, Sainz said, "After stopping around lap 18, we executed a strategy of doing 2 or 3 quick laps with the hard tyres to gain an advantage. However, this decision ended up ruining the remainder of the race, as the tyre degradation and overheating became significant," stated the Spanish driver following the race. With access to exclusive knowledge, Luigi Mazzola expressed concern about the current state of the prancing horse. According to him, it is highly unlikely for Ferrari to emerge victorious in the present circumstances. Mazzola led the test team that played a significant role in Ferrari's golden era, alongside Michael Schumacher, at the beginning of the 21st century. Ferrari's difficulties have raised concerns about Charles Leclerc's future with the team. As the chosen one groomed to lead the team, Leclerc's performance has been hindered by his eagerness to push beyond the limitations of inadequate equipment. It is not surprising that he may be considering other options or attracting interest from other teams, such as Mercedes, despite publicly denying any intentions and expressing unwavering loyalty to Ferrari. Now, hold on to your swivel chairs. Schumacher has referred to Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz as the primary issues within the team. Yeah, you heard that right. Bomb dropped. Schumacher expressed his viewpoint that Leclerc and Sainz are the major factors contributing to Ferrari's struggles based on their performance during the race. In his column for Sky Germany, he stated that he perceives the drivers, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, as lacking consistency. Sainz was 8/10ths away from Leclerc on a weekend. In Miami, he was at his level, braked and drove into the pit lane too quickly, said Schumacher. Binotto was more a fan of Carlos Sainz. Schumacher feels that the arrival of Frederic Vasseur spells good things for Charles Leclerc at Ferrari. He highlighted Leclerc's admission of mistuning the car against the advice of his engineers as an example of his mistakes. Schumacher questioned Leclerc's maturity and consistency, suggesting that he might not be consistently capable of competing for a world championship with Ferrari. To be honest, the Ferrari team is currently doing a better job than both drivers, and we'd have to agree based on the evidence available. What more can the team do to support their drivers? Not that the team is innocent, of course. It seems Schumacher and we are not the only one to question the same. Jolyon Palmer, a former Formula 1 driver and pundit, suggests that Charles Leclerc should reconsider his expectations. Despite the car's relatively slower pace, Palmer has raised concerns about Leclerc's aggressive driving style and suggests that he may need to reduce it slightly in order to minimize errors. Palmer further stated that while Leclerc has criticised the 2023 Ferrari for its inconsistent balance, sensitivity to wind, and overall challenging nature to drive, his own driving abilities also need to be scrutinised. The positive aspect for Ferrari fans is that the current Formula 1 season is the longest ever, featuring a total of 23 scheduled races. With such an extensive season ahead, there is loads of opportunity for Ferrari to make improvements and reverse their current situation. What do you think is the real reason behind Ferrari's poor performance this season? Do you agree that the two drivers need to take a long look in the mirror?